So this is a 25 years old amalgam and I'm going to replace it for aesthetic reasons and because there is some caries on the contact points. There is also some secondary caries underneath and cracks around the filling. So at first I wasn't completely sure if there is a caries on the contact points. That's why I decided to take an x-ray during the prep. And it showed some caries on the medial side but nothing distally. But I decided to open the crack anyway and there was a caries. So it shows that not always a caries is visible on the x-ray. So there is also a white spot on the adjacent tooth, and in cases like this, I like to remove it because I have an easy access. This is how I modify the contact area. It's called preparation by Clark. It's important to move the margin of the restoration into an area that's easy to clean. So the margin is the weakest link and it becomes really vulnerable if it's not placed in a cleanable area. So by moving it to a more accessible zone, we reduce the risk of plaque accumulation and recurrent caries. So if I were to fully dissect the crack, I'd probably end up placing the margin too close to the gums, or even slightly under them. That's why I prefer not to go that far. I also don't want to reduce too much enamel on the periphery, because that would make the restoration weaker. So in this case, I decided to leave the crack within the enamel but remove as much as possible in the dentin without causing pulp exposure. So the tooth is vital, there is no periapical lesion visible on the CBCT and it responds normally to vitality test. That's why there is no reason to do root canal treatment. So the filling on the second molar isn't shaped correctly, and if I were to build my contact point against it, the contact on the first molar wouldn't be ideal either. Of course, the restoration on the second molar should eventually be replaced, but for now we're not doing that, so I decided to slightly modify the filling on the second molar. So now it looks nice and smooth. Now I just need to polish the surface. Before starting the restoration, the tooth has to be cleaned because any remaining plaque on the surface can compromise the adhesion. But I like to do this after opening the contacts. If I do it beforehand, I'll just have to clean again later, since there are always some areas the airflow can't reach until the contacts are opened. So after cleaning, I changed the split dam to regular rubber dam, which is my final isolation for this case. Usually I do this step without the microscope, but this time I decided to record it. We use this napkin between the rubber dam and the patient face. It helps prevent moisture and sweating, and it just makes the appointment more comfortable for the patient. I use floss to tuck the rubber dam between the teeth and invert it into the sulcus. Now I'm slightly adjusting the clamp to make sure there is no gum tissue in the working area. So caries indicator stains anything that contains a high amount of organic components. So it doesn't only stain soft dentin, it can also stain solid dentin, like tertiary dentin, which is still hard but has a higher organic content. I don't rely only on caries indicator, I also like to check with a probe to feel whether the dentin is solid or not. After the adhesive is light cured, I apply a layer of short fiber reinforced flowable composite. This acts as a base for the restoration. Here I use this white Veripack composite to cover the color of the dentin underneath. So all matrices I use are the same size, the largest available. I just use scissors each time to trim it to the exact height I need, depending on the height of the marginal ridge I want to achieve. For small defects like this, I use filled flowable composite and then polish the surface with finishing strips. After placing the matrix, I hold the side opposite to where I inserted the wedge. This prevents the matrix from sliding in the same direction, and it keeps centered on the proximal wall. So in this case, there is a small gap between the matrix and the tooth, but I know that it is in tight contact just below the edge of the defect, so it's well adapted there and there won't be any overhangs. And I'll show you that on the X-ray. It's important to use a highly flowable composite in situation like this because if I use one with low viscosity, it won't flow into that small space and I'll end up with an overhang. Now I add a small portion of a packable composite that will push the flowable into that gap. So I never ask my patient first if the restoration feels okay in terms of height. I always check it myself using articulating paper. I also use UV filter. It clearly shows where the restoration is so I can see exactly where it interferes with the bite and what needs to be adjusted. So this is what it looks like at the end, and I think it's fine, and I hope the restoration will serve the patient as long as the previous one. Follow me on Instagram, I'll leave the link below, and I'll post some photos of this case there as well. And thank you for watching. If you have any questions, I'll gladly answer them in the comments.